Hello,
Hello.
I'm Emma Rice,
And I'm Simon Baker.
and welcome to this special edition of the Wise Children podcast, because this is a podcast to go with our Big Give this year. So the Big Give is an amazing charitable initiative. Tell us about it, Si.
I should do my very best. The Big Give is a charity that runs what's called match funding campaigns to help other charities raise money. So this means it essentially matches donations that we get from the public with funding from trusts and foundations, philanthropists and businesses. So we applied to take part in the Big Give Christmas Challenge, and this is a week-long campaign that has a target. So for every £1 in donation made to us, the Big Give will match it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's really good. It's really, really good. And we've done it a few years running now, I think.
And it makes a very real-life difference to us.
It really does. Running a theatre company like ours relies on lots of different strands of income. Arts Council funding being one, box office income from the shows being another, and a big part of it is what we call philanthropic giving, so donations. This is what allows us to do all the additional things we do, like run our training programme.
And sorry to be pedantic, but I think you have to set a target and reach it, don't you? Otherwise, you don't get the match funding.
You do. There's an element of jeopardy to it. So I can't remember what the target is this year, but let's say it's 20,000. So we need to raise £20,000, and the Big Give will match that with another £20,000. So that gives us £40,000. But we have to do that within the Big Gives Appeal Week, which is the first week in December. It actually runs from the 2nd of December to the 9th of December. So between the 2nd and the 9th, we have to raise £20,000 in order to get that match funding.
Wow. There's a bit of a game show
There's
feel
an
about
element
it,
of game show to it.
But if we can jump through the hoops and if our supporters can help us jump through those hoops, it's truly transformative.
Yeah, I think it's all about focusing the campaign. I think it's what it's about. So yeah. It's
Well, it's clever, isn't it? It makes you think,
Yeah.
makes you choose, it does lots of things, and it makes us as a company really think, what is it that people might want to help us deliver? And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, because they're very real. The things that we raise money for are very real, tangible things that we're about to go and do and couldn't do without that funding.
So this year, the Big Give is all about not what you see when you come to see a show, not what's on stage, but what is backstage. And really, Simon needs to talk about this as someone who's worked backstage all his life and is the king, I would say, of the technical departments. But as a director, I'm quite demanding. My shows are beautiful. My shows are complex. My shoes are beautiful and complex as well. But my shows are intricate. If anybody's seen something like North by Northwest, we had over 70 suitcases which had to be in the right place at the right time with the right props inside of them, and they had to be trodden on, jumped on. So if you think about all those, even for that one idea, think about how many people had to deliver that. A suitcase that's reinforced, that's beautiful, that's got a word on it, that's got the right props on the inside and is placed in the right place, or sometimes taken off stage one side and put on the other. Really detailed work. And I would say throughout my career, I've made so many friends. I have an army of people I love, adore and need. But it's the technical teams that are with me at the end of the night, that are taking notes at midnight about what we're going to do the next day, that dig in to the problems and sit with me and say, what is it you want, Emma? How can we help you? We're going to go away and think about it. And they are the unsung heroes. But it's a really difficult time, isn't it? So, Si, talk to us about those unsung heroes and where we find ourselves historically and politically at this moment.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, so I shall give it a go. What we're talking about are the backstage teams that work on our shows. So these are the stage managers, sound operators, lighting technicians, wardrobe teams, wigs, hair and makeup teams, all the people that you might see wearing a headset and dressed in black, desperately trying not to be seen by the audience. As to where we find ourselves is a much more challenging question to answer. In truth, I think that finding those staff to work with us on delivering the productions night after night is becoming really hard. It feels to me that there's a massive skill shortage in the industry. Now, I am talking about theatre. I honestly don't know about how the other fields are operating, things like film or TV. But I certainly feel theatre is lacking the people that can be both at the same time highly skilled in very specific areas, but be able to work as one core team come showtime. And anecdotally, I feel that finding people got much harder after COVID.
I think it's definitely. I think it's a perfect storm. I mean, nobody knows really what's happening. But I think COVID had a big. I mean, COVID put a knife through the industry and it stopped. And I think lots of things that hadn't been questioned suddenly were questioned.
Yeah.
And one of the things. Sorry, Simon, I'm always riff, don't I? But I do think there's something ancient about making theatre and touring theatre that is struggling now. The narrative, it's a struggle to think. So we work 6 days a week and we work every night. Like, how do you get a partner? How do you have children? These are things we all manage within the company all the time. But I think once the industry stops, I think quite a lot of people thought, especially with technical skills, I can make a living with these skills elsewhere, possibly make more money and not have to work to be in a van travelling the length and breadth of the company, the country, working 6 days a week. But before I hand back to you, I have to say again is that, touring theatre, when it's bad, it's very bad. But oh my goodness, when it's good, it is the best life. It is working with your friends, working on something that you believe in, being in a gang, achieving something that has spiritual meaning as well as real technical ability. So I think we really want to tell people there are great jobs out there and we need you.
I do think working backstage on shows can be enormous fun, and touring can also be brilliant. In fact, it's actually where I started. I started when I left Guildhall. I went to work for Michael Bogdanov's English stage company and toured for about 9 months with them as my first job as an assistant sound operator. And all of us at MRI's company worked really hard to make life as simple as possible when out on the road, when we're touring. Our producing team, led by Poppy, put enormous effort into that for all of our company members, whether that's the backstage team or the acting company or musicians. I think working backstage has gotten overlooked of late. I don't really know why. It's a great sadness because it can be such a great job with so many different ways to develop. You can go from assistant stage manager to stage manager and company manager, or you can go from radio mic running on a small tour and working your way up to opening big West End shows as head of sound. So there's lots of routes to develop, but there's also lots of ways to find something that you enjoy and just keep doing it. I know many a sound operator that are infinitely happy running radios backstage and hate the thought of having to open a show out front.
But what we're looking for with this big give is how the MRI's company can really start to find the next generation of technicians, technical artists to come and work with us. And we want a diverse company. These are great, great jobs and they're real opportunities for careers going on. And we've got quite a list. Should we talk about what we're going to spend our money on if we
I think we should.
get this? So really we need to sort of do a fanfare for the MRI training programme. Our training programme's been doing so well since we started. And we do really, really well for performers and directors. And we're starting working with educators as well. But we're also doing work for behind the scenes. So one of the things that we're going to do for people who want to pursue a career backstage is our free taster workshops. And we do, if we've got enough money, free workshops for anybody in every venue that we go to. So we're literally touring our training programme. And the technical tasters are absolutely brilliant, aren't they? You've been to them, Si. Tell us about what somebody might get on one of those technical tasters.
Oh, well, they're a brilliant day. So our brilliant backstage teams come in usually on their 1 day off a week where there's not a matinee, and what they do is we bring, it's usually 15 or 20 people, I think, and we set up different stations around the theatre, so everybody gets a chance at working with stage management. So you might do a props reset in the morning. We certainly look at how a quick change might happen or setting costumes might happen. We have a little bit of the show that you can come and mix. So we have a multi-track of the show, and we have a big screen up, so you can actually have a go at mixing the show and getting the sound effects in the right place and the music in the right place. You have a go at being the deputy stage manager, which is the person which calls the show. So that's the person that sits on what we call the book, and the book has all the cues written into the script, and that's actually a really complicated job. So you might be calling in scenery that's flying in, and then you might be calling a lighting cue and then a sound cue, but that order may shift around if somebody's out of place and you can't actually call that flying piece in. So the DSM, Deputy Stage Manager, is a key role, and we usually let people have a go at calling a bit of the show. Again, we put up a big monitor and get to use cue lights and comms. But they're really good. It's like compacting 2 years of technical theatre backstage school into 6 hours.
And you get to meet our team.
Yeah.
I mean, people absolutely come out buzzing, but it might help somebody who thinks I'd quite fancy being backstage say, gosh,
Yeah.
stage management is really exciting, or sound, I've got a real vibe for sound.
Yeah.
So it's a really great way of meeting us. I mean, I can't recommend them more highly. We also have mentoring opportunities through the training programme. And we also have, if we find the right people, paid traineeships, which will offer routes into really exciting, well-paid jobs in the industry. So this give is really real. It's really real. If we can deliver everything that we know we can with support, these are real jobs for a diverse, creative workforce. And we're super passionate. And the Emma Rice Company is really lucky. I'm sat opposite a Tony Award-winning sound designer, an Olivier Award-winning sound designer. We have amazing technical skills within the company that are valued as highly, and this year even more highly than the whatever it is I do.
Well, I think
It's about working together as a team. So that's what I want to say, is that we're looking for new people to join our team, and there are really great opportunities. And the Big Give is going to give us a chance to change some lives and really enhance the creative life of the Emma Rice Company.
I think you really will. Can I tell you a story quickly?
Yeah.
The reason I'm really keen on the technical tasters and all the work the training program does with bringing in new technicians is simply because Emma often will celebrate my successes as a sound designer. But the reason I got into this was because when I was about 12 years old, I went to a similar thing at what was a theatre company called the London Bubble Theatre, who each summer would come and set up on Feltham Green, which was sort of near the Duck Pond in Feltham High Street. And they set up their 3 big tents, and I can't remember what they were doing that year, but I'm going to have a guess it was probably Trafford Tansy, Romeo and Juliet, and Little Shop of Horrors or something. They were running 3 shows in rep. And they had an open day, a bit like our technical tasters, where I went down and, they were working with younger people, we worked with older people, but we all went down, me and my mates from school, and I got to hang out with the London Bubble Theatre lot and got to see how a lighting desk worked and got to see how a tape machine worked, and I completely fell in love with it. I completely and utterly fell in love with it. And I can't remember, 12, 13, 14-year-old kid from Feltham. I had no connection to theatre whatsoever. But that was the initial trigger. So that's why those things are important, because it's about bringing people in that think, well, I don't know how to start, I don't know who to meet, or I don't know what to do or where to go. I think the technical tasters are a brilliant and perfect way into the industry.
Oh, sigh. I'm having a sort of sliding doors moment. If you hadn't gone into that space and fallen in love.
The weirdest thing about that day, there are many weird things about it, I went with my mate, Rob Spate, who, you know Rob.
I do.
And the person that took the course was a very long-haired Paddy Caneen. And Paddy, for those of you who don't know, I mean, years later, I worked with Paddy as a brilliant theatre composer. We worked, we did shows for Nick Heitner and Sam Mendes all through the late 90s, early 2000s at the National. But yeah, it was Paddy that took that course.
Well, I never. So there you have it.
Yeah.
So these things work. These things matter. And maybe somebody that you're going to help us fund might be sat here in 30 years' time with all the awards talking about how the Emma Rice Company changed the course of their life. So by offering talented people from all backgrounds pathways into the industry, we at Emma Rice Company will help build a skilled and diverse workforce, not just for us, but for the whole of British theatre. So we should do one last plug for the Big Give.
Yeah.
Please donate. Help us reach our Big Give Christmas appeal. Anything you give between the 2nd and the 9th of December will be doubled by this incredible initiative. And, you know, that's what it is. It's the maths, twice the impact. So help us create a new workforce backstage.
And all the details will, of course, be on our new and shiny website at emmaricecompany.co.uk, or you can probably find all our information on our various social media channels.
And can I just say thank you to the London Bubble for getting the young Simon Baker into that tent all those years ago, because we wouldn't be sat here now on our Sunday if that hadn't happened.
There you go. Thanks, London Bubble.
Bye.
Bye.